Hey everyone, today we're going to create a snake game using OpenAI's latest model, O1, which is super great at reasoning, coding, and doing highly technical problems. So let's get started. Over here we have O1 opened on NinjaChat, which is pretty nice to use. So we can prompt it pretty much anything that we want and it'll do a pretty good job coding what we want. So since we're trying to create a snake game, essentially where we use our keyboard, our keys, the up and down arrows and left and right to navigate the snake to eat little bites of food. Let's go ahead and do a prompt. I want to create a snake game in, let's do Node.js for this. And the UI should be excellent. Walk me through how to do it and make sure it's fully functional. All right, let's see what it comes up with. And it usually just takes a few seconds, sometimes 20 to 30 seconds, since it does have that reasoning engine behind it. Okay, cool. So it generated all of the code and instructions. And as you can see, this is a lot of code and a lot of instructions that you probably wouldn't see GPT-4 or Claude 3.5 Sonnet even generating, because this is just much more capable. It can give much more longer messages, and the quality is just really nice. So here I have VS Code pulled open. I have an index.js file already created, so I don't need to worry about setting up Node, but if you don't have Node set up, you can follow those instructions. So it tells me create a public folder, have index.html, styles.css, and server.js. Okay. And like I said, I already have the folder created. So let's go ahead and install our first package. Let me open a new terminal and do npm install express. And let's go ahead and create the server file. And I believe, yeah, that's just in the root of the directory. And let's go ahead and create public, and then index.html. We have that. And then it wants styles.css2 to make the website actually look decent. Script.js inside the public folder. And yeah, I believe that's it. It gives a few extra steps after generating the raw code, like how to add a responsive canvas, adding sound effects, and a bunch of that. But let's go ahead and actually run this code locally and see how it did. So let me just do npm or node index.js. Seems like nothing happened. Oh, it's because I actually never pasted the index.js file. That is my bad. Let me find, where is it? Oh, it's because we have server.js, right? My bad. Okay, cool. So it's running on localhost 3000. Let's go ahead and navigate to there. Okay, so for some reason it says my high score is 4. That might be a glitch, but let's go ahead and do start game. And it seems like this is a bug. It's actually just saying game over as soon as or here, maybe now. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let me ask O1. It's just saying start over when I click start game. Fix this and send full files again. And hopefully O1 does a pretty good job of debugging it, which, I mean, it usually does, since like I said, it has reasoning step. Okay, cool. So it generated some new code from what it seems like. On the bottom of the message, it seems like it's giving explanation of the fix, but let's scroll all the way to the top and see what it's telling us to do. So, okay, that's the first message. And then here's the second message. So it's basically saying that it immediately triggers because the initial direction is likely set to this coordinate, which means that the snake actually collides with itself, resulting in game over. So let's go ahead and fix this using O1's code. I'm assuming a lot of the files are going to stay the same, but luckily it is generating all the files again, which is really nice in my opinion, just to make sure we don't miss anything. Script.js, and it seems like that is it. So let me do node server.js, and let's go ahead and refresh this. Okay, cool. So now I'm actually using my keyboard to navigate this green dot around, which is actually the snake. So let me go ahead and try to get this red one. Okay, got that. Okay, cool. And it seems like it's increasing the points by 10 actually, which I mean is fine. Usually it increases by 1, but that's just a small thing. And it is increasing the length. One bug that I do see is it's just going through the wall when in reality it should actually quit the game, because that's how normal Snake works. So let me ask it to fix that. And let me try running into myself. Okay, yeah, when I run into myself, it does say game over and it just says to start again. So let me tell it to make the game over when it collides with walls, and also add sound effects. And I do have 2 sound effects already downloaded in an assets folder. So let me actually drag that in right now into the public folder. So here we just have the sound that I wanted to eat. So let me copy the path for this. When eating piece of food, make it play, and then we have this in the public assets folder. So public assets eat.wave, and we also have this, and game over sound is that. And let me give the path for that too, so everything is pretty clear to the AI. And I think that's it. I can definitely ask it to make the UI a little better, make the UI a little better, and see if you can make anything else better. Maybe we can add a difficulty toggle. So also add a difficulty toggle like easy, medium, or hard that determines specific things. Now impress me with the new code. Okay, cool. So you might have noticed I actually said impress me with the new code. And it might sound funny, but the AI a lot of the times generates better code when you give it little incentives like impress me, or a lot of things depend on it. Just trying to get the best code out of it actually does seem to work a lot of the times. So let's see what it comes up with and we can rerun it then. Okay, cool. So it generated a lot of new code again. So let's go ahead again, scroll all the way up. So it gave the new server.js, which I'm assuming is probably, oops, let me do that. Public index.html, let me do that. And then probably some new styles. Yep. And then the new script. And it seems like that's it. And I've already added these assets in this exact file structure. So let's go ahead and see if it works properly. Let me refresh the page. So now I can actually select the difficulty. Let's do easy just to start out with. Okay. So easy is actually really, really slow. And I get why it set this as easy, but it's pretty functional. One thing I am noticing is that I just opened inspect element and I went to the console to see what's happening, is that it's not actually playing the sounds and it's giving these uncaught errors actually. So let me go ahead and just copy this directly and ask O1 what's going on. And let me make sure I added these files correctly. So I have public asset sounds. Oh, okay. So what seems to be the issue actually is I have another folder in here. So let me just move this to assets, and let me also move this one to assets too. And let me just delete the sounds folder so there's no confusion there. So maybe this will work actually. Let me refresh the code, and let's do hard this time since I think easy was just a little too slow. Okay, so I added the sound, and let me actually run into a wall. Okay, yeah, and then it plays that little funny sound when the game is over, which is pretty nice. Just to finish this off, I think the game is actually in a pretty good state right now. One thing that I don't like is the pop-ups on my screen that pop up. So I'm gonna ask it, can you make the pop-ups a little better style and not the browser's default pop-up? And then what else do we want? And then maybe we can make this drop-down menu blend in better. Make the drop-down menu blend in better. And add a welcome screen to this too with a great design when you load the page. Pop-up maybe. And other than that, I think that's all the changes we're gonna do for this video. So let's go ahead and see what it comes up with. Okay, cool. So it generated a big message again, since this is O1 and it's just so advanced and so nice because it rarely gives errors. So it gave the new public index.html, gave the new styles, gave the new public script, and last but not least, the server.js, which is probably the same. Yep. And it seems like it gave some detailed explanations too. And it actually walks us through its own reasoning. Even though I told it my reasoning, it actually thinks on its own and gives us the steps too. And if you want to like learn coding, O1 is really great since unlike GPT where it just spits out random code, here not only will it give all the full files, but then after that it'll give a detailed explanation with code snippets and bullet points explaining what changes happened. And it's just really in-depth, unlike the other AI models. So let's go ahead and run this again and see what it came up with. Okay, cool. This is very nice. So we have this pop-up. You use the arrow keys to control the snake and eat as many apples as you can. Avoid hitting the walls or yourself. So we have our snake again, and again, it's just playing that sound. Let me run into the wall to see the pop-up. And yeah, we implemented this custom pop-up, which is just game over, which looks really nice and pretty retro for this type of game. And again, I told it to change the drop down of the difficulty so it blends in a little more instead of the white background. So this is a pretty nice game, and I'll actually deploy this game to the internet, and I'll probably drop a link below along with the GitHub repository. And you might have noticed I used NinjaChat.ai to use O1, the latest OpenAI coding model. So definitely check that out too. It's really useful and it's just really impressive. So yeah, catch you later.